And we're back for another episode. In this episode I'm going to show the crafting rotation I use for 3-star items as of patch 2.5. So I don't use Alicia's crafting macros anymore for 3-star. I've been doing 3-star manually. And a good 3-star item to make these days are items like the perfect firewood or the furnace ring or whatever, depending which class you want to make it for. So today I'm going to be making it for Carpenter, which is a perfect firewood. And these are needed for the last part of the relic quest, and they have to be high quality. So I'll show you how I craft high quality. And as always, hello from Mithrie. Now, going into this, my stats are 493 craftsmanship, 431 control, and I will explain the difference between my rotation and what someone with, say, a supper or an artisan tool might use with less stats than this. This is at the maximum stats, so but I will generally explain how my rotation works, and I'll try and detail it as far as I can in the description as well. And the only food I use is high quality Bula based food, because it will then increase my CP to 395. So anyway, let's make a perfect firewood. And I gathered these aged spear shafts myself because I desimped the aged spears myself in order to get these. And the cypress logs and the grenade ash, I simply bought them from the market board. So here we go. So because I have the Lucis, then it literally will take 2 piece by pieces and 3 careful synthesis 2s to finish the progress. So I'll spend the rest of my moves on quality. So I start off with Comfort Zone, and you will hit all tricks of the trade until you hit Master's Men 2. So you start off with Comfort Zone, Inner Quiet, Steady Hand 2. In my case, because this is 3-star and I have the Lucis, I can hit Hasty Touch now 3 times. So 3 Hasty Touches. 1. And if there was any goods, I would be hitting tricks of the trade as well. So that was 3 attempts. It doesn't matter if they succeeded or not. At this point, when you have 50 durability left, I now hit piece by piece twice. And piece by piece again. And that's it. And then 2 careful synthesis 2s. And another. And that's it. So 1 more careful synthesis 2 would finish the craft. And I've got 10 durability left anyway. So at this point, I hit Master's Men 2. Comfort Zone wore off, so I renew Comfort Zone. And then I do, let's see, Steady Hand 2. And I can't do Waste Not 2 just yet, I don't have enough CP, so I'm going to do 1 Hasty Touch. Ideally, if I had had any tricks of the trade before this point, I should have been able to hit Waste Not 2 straight away, but I couldn't. So Waste Not 2 at this point, I will hit it 3 times. So because I didn't have any tricks of the trade at all in the first half, I will hit it twice during Waste Not 2 if it spawns. So tricks of the trade, Hasty Touch, and I will do this again, this rotation a couple of times to show you how it works generally. So now that Steady Hand 2 is worn off, I will refresh Steady Hand 2, and then I keep Hasty Touch going. So ideally you want to be hitting Hasty Touch as much as possible when Waste Not 2 is up. But I've only had to sacrifice a couple of them for tricks of the trade because I was severely lacking CV in the first half of the craft. Okay, so I've got 9 stacks, and then you keep doing this until you have 15 durability left. And the 15 durability left will allow you to have 2 moves to finish the craft. So because there's only, let's see, because I have loads of spare CP, I refreshed Steady Hand 2 for the sake of doing 1 more Hasty Touch. That's it. So now we're going to do the finishing rotation. So we're going to do a Great Strides, and it's a good. So when it turns good or excellent at this point, I'll hit Bygot's Blessing straight away. And because I got Steady Hand up, it means Bygot's won't fail. So here we go. 100%, Careful Synthesis 2. Done. So even though at the first half of the craft I didn't have any tricks of the trade, I was still able to get 100% anyway by sacrificing 2 tricks of the trade during Waste Not 2. Now you have to really check and test how many Careful Synthesis 2s you will need on top of piece by piece to finish the craft. You want to always finish with your progress one move before you would actually finish the craft, so that at the end, after you've hit Bygot's Blessing, one more move and you're done. That's how I do it. So let me do another one. So again, Comfort Zone, Inner Quiet, Steady Hand 2, and I would hit any tricks of the trade that come up, if any come up. Then 3 Hasty Touches because I have the Lucis. If I had the Supra or less, I would be hitting 2 Hasty Touches at this point. Okay, and now 2 Piece by Pieces. And you only need 2 Piece by Pieces for 3 star, and then 2 Careful Synthesis 2s. If I had the Supra or the Artisan Tool, I'd be hitting 3 Careful Synthesis 2s at this point because it still wouldn't finish the craft. Okay, so now you renew Comfort Zone the second it wears off, regardless of when it wears off. So, because it's possible if you get loads of tricks of the trade, the Comfort Zone will fall off a lot quicker. So then, Master's Meant 2, because I had 10 durability left. So now back to 70. So Steady Hand 2, Waste Not 2. And ideally, you don't want to press anything other than Hasty Touch during the 8 stacks of Waste Not 2. I only did in the previous attempt because I had so little CP. Okay, and now that Steady Hand 2 has worn off, I renew Steady Hand 2 and keep the rotation going. The second that Waste Not 2 is worn off, then I will start hitting tricks of the trade again, if any. Ideally, you want to finish the craft with at least 9 stacks of Inner Quiet, but keep this going. And here's 1 tricks of the trade. And I'm going to risk Hasty Touch without Steady Hand, because it does work surprisingly often. So again, we're at the same point. I have 11 stacks of Inner Quiet. We have 80 CP, which is great, which means we have enough for Steady Hand, Great Strides, and Bygots. We have 15 durability left, which means 2 moves left. So we're going to do the finishing rotation. Steady Hand. So Steady Hand 1. You don't need Steady Hand 2 for Great Strides. For Bygots. Just Steady Hand 1 will do. Great Strides. I can't do anything else at all. I don't have enough CP, so I have to hit Bygots. Again, 100%. Done. So this is generally how my 3-star rotation works. So I'm going to make these last 2 and again explain how I do 3-star. So this is a very, very similar process to 4-star, but I'll explain that in another episode. So again, Comfort Zone, Inner Quiet, Steady Hand 2, Tricks of the Trade. Finally, we get Tricks of the Trade in the first half. 3 Hasty Touches. Now the Steady Hand 2 is for the benefit of Hasty Touch. That's why I use it early on. And then Tricks of the Trade. I'm going to risk 2 Piece by Pieces without Steady Hand because it's 90% chance and usually it succeeds anyway. Okay, Careful Synthesis 2 twice. Comfort Zone is worn off, so I'm going to renew Comfort Zone. And Careful Synthesis 2. And the reason why this can't be macroed is simply because you don't know when Comfort Zone needs to be refreshed. That is the issue with it. So Master's Meant 2, Steady Hand 2, Waste Not 2, and also you don't know as well if you need to use Tricks of the Trade during Waste Not 2 or not. So because I'm in a better shape, I will ignore all goods during Waste Not 2 and just let them give me extra high quality. So renew Steady Hand 2, keep this going. You only refresh Comfort Zone once, you don't refresh it twice. And you keep the Hasty Touch going until 15 durability. Now Waste Not 2 is worn off, I'll hit any Tricks of the Trade, like them for example. I will risk 1 Hasty Touch without Steady Hand, and it succeeded again. So 50-50, it might work, might not, it's luck. So again, now we have 100 CP, 10 stacks of Inner Quiet, and 15 durability left. So we're going to do Steady Hand. It's a good, but I don't have Great Strides. So at this point, I'll hit Tricks of the Trade. Great Strides. It's an Excellent, so I'm going to hit Bygots immediately. Excellent gives you a 4 times quality increase, so you hit it straight away. There's no point doing anything else, even if you have spare CP. And Careful Synthesis 2. 100%. So again, I'm going to do this once more, and that will be it. And then this will show the power of this rotation. So Comfort Zone, Inner Quiet, Steady Hand 2, 3 Hasty Touches, or 2 of them if you have Supra or less. Okay, it doesn't matter if these blow up, they're going to blow up. It's Hasty Touch after all. Tricks of the trade. 2 piece by pieces. Tricks of the trade again. Piece by piece. And then Careful Synthesis 2. Refresh Comfort Zone because it fell off. Careful Synthesis 2. Then Master's Mend 2. Because we had 10 durability left, so we want to get back to 70. Steady Hand 2. Waste Not 2. Now that Waste Not 2 is up, I will only hit Hasty Touch, as I'm in a much comfortable place CP wise. You want to have hit Tricks of the Trade ideally twice before you get to Waste Not 2. If you haven't, then you think about using Tricks of the Trade during Waste Not 2. Okay, so refresh, Steady Hand 2. Keep this going. So like I said, during Waste Not 2, if you have good CP, just ignore Tricks of the Trade, because goods actually give you a 1.5 times increase on your quality. So I don't see it as a waste of CP, I see it as a gain of quality gain from Hasty Touch. Okay, so now Waste Not 2's worn off, I can start hitting Tricks of the Trade again. So then again, 2 Hasty Touches. I'm going to risk 1 without Steady Hand. Okay, so now Steady Hand. It's an excellent. So I'm going to hit Bygots immediately, even without Great Strides, because remember it's a 4-fold increase, so it's like a double Great Strides having an excellent. 100%. Done. So as you saw, that's my 3-star rotation. I will try my best to detail it as much as possible in the description. I've done it 4 times in a row to show you how the rotation works and explain it along the way. That is how I do 3-star. That's why I don't macro it, because you have to react in certain different ways. But if you use this type of macro rotation and practice and get used to it, then you should be able to do 3-star consistently to 100% if you have good enough stats. So anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie.